why creationism does not violate the laws of conservation of mass, first and second laws of thermodynamics. Why we should abandon these laws. You know, one of the things that really gets my goat is sometimes creationists will say, well, you know, evolution violates such and such a law of nature. You know, first law, second law, whatever. Wait a minute, you're talking about a process that's outside of natural law. How can you attack us who understand and use natural law? It's a mystery to me. Okay? Now, pointed out, then creationism misuses the facts, all right? Bad science. It's also bad theology. Let me just tell you a little story. True story, actually. Some of my stories are true. When I was in college, I'm an evolutionary biologist. Well, you can't believe me. When I was in college, I had a roommate who was a born-again Christian, and he used to, every night, would read the Bible. And frankly, it used to irritate me. He'd have the light on, and I'd be trying to sleep, and I'd hear those pages flip. And I said to him one day, I said, come on, you know, that Bible, you can interpret it any which way, blah, blah, you know, the usual argument that you get between somebody of my beliefs and somebody of his beliefs. So I took the Bible from him, and I said, look, I'll interpret something in the Bible. I opened it up, and I wound up in Revelations. And started reading the seventh seal, and here are some bits from it. And he opened the pit, and there arose a great smoke out of the pit as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and into them was given power as the scorpions have power. And it was given them that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented for 5 months, and their torment was the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. And on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men. And they had breastplates, as it were breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle. And I looked at that, and I said to my roommate, this was about 1960, I don't want to tell, 1960-something. I've been around for a while. But it was at the height of the Cold War, right? Where we were afraid that we're going to have a nuclear holocaust. And I said, oh, well, this is easy. I can interpret that. The pit, that's an underground missile silo. And these locusts with breastplates of iron, those are the missiles, right? And they come out of the ground. There's smoke. There's a great furnace, right? And there's this sound of many chariots as the rockets come from the earth, and kaboom, and then you get, a nuclear attack and radiation poisoning, and And I was saying all this to him, and then all of a sudden I thought, and he looked at me, and he said, you see? And I went, oh my gosh, that's quite yeah, that's really something. Yeah. Now, if I was interpreting this today, I would make it a little different. I'd probably say that the 5 months torment here, that's probably from Saddam Hussein and his factories of biological or chemical warfare, and that the interesting was the breastplates of iron and the faces of man, these locusts had the faces of men. I said, yeah, that would probably be a portrait of Saddam Hussein, because he puts his portrait on everything, and be on the missiles too. Look, my point is this. I know he's a good Christian. My opponent's a good Christian, and many good Christians here. But doesn't this tell us then that we better get out there and start killing locusts? Can we not be moved to action? Right? Especially we got to go looking for armor-plated locusts. Got to kill them. before they do this to us. Now, come on. Whatever your religious beliefs, I'm sorry, that kind of interpretation of the Bible just doesn't wash. Either is good theology or is certainly is good science. I want to finish. I'm finishing. It's my last overhead. Perfect timing. Thank you. Look, I know that my opponent has talked about this being a kind of a battle. Creationist battle cry. Here's what they tell you. And I see there are some young people, some children in here, some students, and this is what they tell you. And I find this offensive. Reject evolution or reject your faith. That's what they tell you. They tell you this is the battleground, right? If you are an evolutionist, you believe in evolution, well, then you've got to reject that particular version of the faith, right? Can you be a good Christian and reject and accept evolution? Well, okay, there you go. And I say to them, that is not the way it should be. There's a peace offering. Okay? Science and religion deal with different domains of human experience. If you want to have a battle and you want to put your religion toe-to-toe with science, nobody gains, right? You say to the young person growing up who's studying biology and learning about fossils and learning about DNA, you say to that young person, hey, don't accept that, otherwise you can't be a good Christian. Now, I'm sorry. That's offensive. Okay? You can be a good Christian. You can accept facts, scientists. There are many good Christians, many good Jews, many good Buddhists, Muslims, whatever, in the scientific community who study evolution. And they deserve the respect that they've earned from their hard work. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to move on to a 15-minute rebuttal from Dr. Hovind.
Well, that was very interesting. Let me give you my rebuttal of some of the things that he said. I don't think we'll have time to give them all. His consistent theme throughout his talk was basically based on majority opinion. You know, in the scientific community, there is no debate. This implies, of course, you know, if you don't believe in evolution, then you're not a scientist. And if you do, you know, you can't be a scientist without believing in evolution. This is simply not true. And this is a very flawed logic used in any debate to say that majority opinion supports your position. First, I don't think you could prove that it's true, okay? I think you'd find there are thousands of scientists very actively involved in major branches of science that are strong Bible-believing creationists. But I want to point out, the debate tonight is evolution, science, and he continually brought in, you know, things about creation, which is not what the debate's supposed to be about, okay? I'm willing to debate that, but that's not the topic tonight. Okay, he said there are tens of thousands of scientists digging fossils and they support evolution. Great, tell them, go for it. There were tens of thousands of people who thought that big rocks fall faster than little rocks at one time. That was taught for 2,000 years in the school system. And it was wrong. There were tens of thousands of people that thought if you took your blood out, you would get better. It's called the doctrine of humors. They were wrong. Okay? There are also tens of thousands of people who do not believe in evolution. All the polls show that only about 9% of the population of America believes in the evolution theory with no God in it.